guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brittney and I am a content creator providing content creator tips for new and beginning content creators, UGC creators, and I also do a little bit of productivity tips in the mix as well. Today I'm going to be talking about something that is definitely important and that is also crucial to your content creation journey, which is developing and building a brand. But before we go ahead and get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more content creator tips and tricks just like this one. So first things first, let's talk about why developing a brand as a content creator is important in the first place. And when I say brand, your brand is more than just like your logo or your color scheme, you know, your aesthetic as a content creator. It's definitely more than that. It's literally who you are as a creator, what you promise to your audience, and why they keep coming back. That's essentially what your brand is all about when it comes to being a content creator. So building a strong and authentic brand identity is something that is crucial and is key to standing out. Again, connecting with your audience and overall achieving your goals. And also a brand identity is just something that helps differentiate you from other creators who are, you know, essentially doing the same things that you are doing. And this is definitely across the board. This does not have to be, you know, specifically content creator tips. That's just an example that I use because that's what, you know, the content that I make. But this can be, you know, if you're doing content tips as well, if you're doing vlogs, if you are a gamer, like it doesn't, you know, building a brand is like literally something that should be happening across the board with any type of content creator, no matter what type of content you're doing. But all in all, building a brand is definitely something that is going to make you stand out, make you unique, you know, at least, you know, when you're coming with your authenticity, your true authentic self, and, you know, what you have a passion for, you know, what your interests are. Like if you're bringing all that to the table as a content creator, you like the content that you do, you like that you're helping people, if you're in a position to help people in your content, like no matter what it may be, it's something that is going to keep people wanting to come back for more, to hear what you have to say, because, you know, you're saying it in a way that is unique to someone else who could say the exact same thing, if that makes sense. We should talk about now defining your brand identity, which I kind of briefly just covered that as well. Now is the time you ask yourself a few questions, you know, take note of them, put them somewhere that you can keep looking at and, you know, go back to when need be. So some of the questions that you should ask yourself when you're trying to figure out what your brand identity is, you know, like what values or beliefs do you stand for? What is something that can set you apart from other creators? What is your target audience into? And, you know, before that, who is your target audience? So these are all some of the questions that you should be asking yourself when it comes to developing and defining your brand identity as a content creator. When you're asking yourself these questions, use, you know, those insights to, you know, figure out how you can show up authentically and, you know, something that can reflect your passions, your purpose, your personality, like all that, like tie all that into your content creation, and I'm pretty sure that you'll be able to come up with some type of brand identity or something that you can use that make you stand out from everyone else. And now this is where we talk about like colors and fonts or whatever, like whatever your personality is. If you know, have a favorite color that, you know, you find unique, use that color in your, you know, your content, you know, make that your thumbnail color, make that, you know, something that you add to all your social media posts, like throw that in there. If you like dogs or cats or kittens, or, you know, just anything that you can add little pieces of yourself in your content, like little like emotes or emojis or little drawings, you know, like there's so many ways that you can incorporate yourself into what it is you do, and that also is something that can add to your brand because that's something, you know, specific to you that others may find, you know, attractive in your content. Okay, so now moving on to like creating consistent brand elements. Obviously, we know by now that consistency is definitely key when it comes to creating content across all social media platforms. If you are actually trying to be on all social media platforms, consistency is definitely key. It's definitely something that's going to help you, you know, grow faster than posting like once every 1 or 2 weeks, you know. So definitely consistency is definitely important when it comes to that. We all should be consistent. We know that though. We know that. So now this is where I talk more about like the colors, your logos, whatever, all that good stuff. when you are creating content, you're trying to establish a brand. I know there's a lot of people that, do some of the same colors, fonts, whatever, but start to find a pattern that you can use when it comes to creating your content. If you're doing YouTube videos, or vlogs or whatever, make sure your thumbnails or what have you are kind of similar to one another. Not having the same content, but like you use the same font, or if you add some color or whatever, you use the same color. Like, because there's so many ways that you can go about doing that. But that's just one of the ways that I can think of right now that would be effective in kind of establishing a brand identity, as well as being consistent with that, because that'll be like, okay, well, this is what her thumbnails look like, so when I see a thumbnail that looks like that, that's most likely her, if that makes sense. Like, that's how you should think about it. And this can also be across the board. It doesn't have to be YouTube videos, TikTok, Instagram, all like Twitter, all that. You can, pretty much do the same thing. Incorporate your brand colors, your fonts, your channel arts, logos, all that. That can be, across the board, and people will know what to look for if they're trying to find you on different social media platforms as well. And in doing so, like I mentioned, people will, once people start to follow and engage with your content and keep coming back for more, they'll know, like, oh yeah, that's a thumbnail from her, so I need to watch that video. Or is that a post from, so it's kind of like that when it comes to having a brand identity, when it comes to like colors and fonts and all that. So next we're going to talk about, now that we got all the consistency part, the colors, the fonts, the passions, your niche, all that, now that we got that out the way, now it's time to tell a story within your content. I always say, as I learn, I come and share, because, I no way, shape, or form want to call myself a coach, but I just, sharing stuff that I wish I had when I started my content creator journey. And I'm, coming and sharing stuff that I, didn't know or wasn't too much aware of when I first started my YouTube journey or my content creator journey in general. When I tell you guys this, like, I literally am, like, something, if you've been watching me for a little while, like, if I share something, I say, well, if you look back on my stuff, like, I was not, you could tell that I was not doing that, or you could see that I was doing this, or I tell you guys, I look back at my content and I kind of cringe a little bit when I first started, but that's growth for you. That was, literally a legit beginner that barely knew anything. So I definitely, share my story within my content all the time, because I feel like that is something that is definitely going to be relatable, especially for new content creators who are still trying to figure out what it is they want to do, or still trying to figure out, how they want to go about being a content creator. There's so many different avenues that you can take. So I definitely always try to share a little piece of that every time, because y'all are going to really understand where I'm coming from when I explain things, the way that I do, because I mean, that's the whole reason why I decided to do content tips, because these are some of the things that I wish I knew. So I feel that it is definitely something that can be relatable, because a lot of people just don't know some things that you should know as a content creator. So definitely, when it comes to creating content and building your brand identity and a social presence on social media, YouTube, all that, tell a story within that. There's different ways that you can go about doing that, but make sure, like, you yourself is in your content, if that makes sense. Like, and I think I mentioned this before, don't try to copycat other creators' work, because it's not going to be authentic and true to you and your actual journey, your situation, all that. So really, when I say, like, find your niche, like, find your passions, find your, put your personality in it, is definitely important, because I feel like as a new creator, you are on all social media platforms trying to find inspiration from any and everywhere, and you end up getting nowhere, because you have all these other people's content just like in your head 24/7, which is not a good idea. Trust, that's another part of my story. I did that a lot when I first started, and I easily got overwhelmed, and I easily just felt like, like, what am I doing? Like, I feel like I'm doing everything all at once, but doing nothing at the same time. But now that I kind of got like a groove of, my content tips and all that, like, I find myself not even really going to other content creators at all. Like if I'm on social media and I'm just like scrolling or whatever, like I'm not looking at content tips. I'm not looking at anything really besides, you know, like the little funny stuff, or I'm really not doing all that. So when you actually find what it is that you actually wanting to do and something that you know you can stick with, you're not going to be wanting to see a lot of other people's content that you're doing, if that makes sense. And last but not least, we should definitely talk about engaging with your audience. I know I talk about engagement with your audience, and you know, you cannot expect engagement without engaging with your audience, you know, but that's something that's definitely, you know, can go hand in hand with and developing a brand as a content creator, because your audience is gonna pretty much help define that brand, you know, like you're gonna build the community based off of the people that, you know, are intrigued or are, you know, find some type of ways to be like, you know, relatable to you. So engage with your audience, okay? Ask them questions, ask for their feedback, you know, see their opinion on things, see their views, see their perspectives, and tie that all in together, because you're, at the end of the day, trying to build a community of people who, if you met in real life, y'all could just, you know, just go at it, just, you know, pick each other's brains, you know, have a good time, because you're coming across that way on the screen. Like, you want to be relatable to your audience. You want to be someone that people can go to for whatever specific topic that you're speaking on, you know. You definitely want to like hone in on building that connection and building that sense of community, if that makes sense. So definitely keep your audience in mind when you're making your content. All right, and there you have it, creators. I hope this video was, you know, explained well and in good detail, because it is something that is important when it comes to creating a brand. Being a content creator, you would need to essentially build some type of brand, something that's going to make people want to come back to you on whatever social media platform that you're on. So if you are starting out, these tips are definitely something that is important to take note of and keep in the back of your mind when it comes to creating content and trying to figure out what your niche is, trying to figure out who your target audience is something that you definitely should keep in the back of your mind as something to go back to, because you essentially want to build a brand. Is it going to happen overnight? Absolutely not. Are you going to get a ton of followers overnight who are, you know, instantly wanting to, you know, have your content? It's definitely going to take some time. It's definitely going to take some growth. You're going to see it. But once you actually start to see, you know, some steady growth, you know, so definitely take all of that in consideration when you're trying to define your brand and pick your niche and all that. And that is all I have for today's video. If you got all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. We also hit 500 followers. Wow, thank y'all for 500 followers. I don't even know what to say, because when I first really started getting consistent on this channel, I literally had like 73 subscribers, and we are at 500. What? So if y'all want me to do something, because I really want to do something, you know, special to celebrate 500, because we celebrate small milestones over here, okay? So I definitely want to do something. So if y'all know what I should do or have any idea of what I should do to celebrate 500 subscribers, definitely leave them down in the comments. You can also reach out to me on social media. All my social media accounts are linked in my description, so definitely leave all that there, because I definitely feel like we should celebrate. You know, we have 500 people. Okay, that's a big deal. 500 people. But anyways, I'm not gonna ramble. Y'all know how I get. Anyways, if you got all the way to the end of this video, thanks again for watching. I definitely appreciate it, all y'all. I truly do. Y'all do not understand. But don't forget to leave a like on this video if you found it helpful. Comment down below your favorite part, or what you know will take away from this video to build your brand as a content creator. And also don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more content creator tips and tricks just like this one. And also don't forget to hit your push notification bell so you know every time I'm posting, which is currently Fridays 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And with that, I will see y'all on my next video.